Yet, I'm yet to see anything that connects the government to what happened. I am yet to see. But for Gachagua to run very quickly and say the government is after him, it was an assassination attempt. It means, therefore, that this was planned and he knew what to say after it. Let me tell you, you need to interpret this the same way you interpreted the stoning of Ruto's cars in Kisumu towards the last general election. When you look at the chairs being thrown and stones being thrown and the vehicles were not even trying to take off. They were waiting for as much damage to happen to it as possible. What is happening here is what I have seen in politics since the multi-party began in 1992. There is self-inflicted damages to bring public sympathy. I have seen them. Look at this, even saying that the MP sat elsewhere. In Embu, Gachagua sat elsewhere. Why didn't you interpret that the same way? You know, when you come and say...
Okay, the argument here is that for him to have sat in a different location and he's allied to the president, he might have seen that the tent that it was allocated for the VIP would actually, would be attacked to some extent.
You will let me talk and then you will deal with it after I have spoken. You have no business interrupting this. So I have seen this. I have been in this opposition politics. In fact, when you see this happening, Embu and now here in Kiambu, and it will continue, that is a clear sign that the regime in the benches of the opposition is changing. Somebody else will be there. I was in Luo-Nyanza when all these things were being organized everywhere. Sometimes back when President Mwai Kibaki came to a funeral in Homa Bay County, Raila arrived when the president had sat and everything, and caused a lot of mayhem. It is a way of looking for sympathy from the people you want to back you up. Okay. Rigathi Gachagua is looking for sympathy from the mountain because he's dying to be the kingpin. He is dying to be the spokesperson. He is dying to be the king, the only leader in that region. So I think he should have even taken a day to try to find out who was after this. And when you see the damages on those cars, and nobody even had a small cut on the ear, it tells you this is all choreographed, well planned, executed according to plan. We have seen this. Okay.
Let's look at it politically, because Justina mentioned something when we started. That from what you're saying, it could be a political message, plan, exactly. But does this mean that the mountain to some extent has left the government now that you're saying somebody else is going to be in opposition in the coming days?
That is a narrative that the people who are arranging this would like to go on, that the mountain has left the government. The mountain has not left the government. I am sure those people who are throwing chairs are also from the mountain. Whether they were hired or not, they are from the mountain. And you see, this is something you would not do to Raila Odinga in Luoland. It will not happen. So if it happened to Gachagua, it means he's yet to capture the mountain back into his wings. He will maybe, if you continue with this and nobody seems to notice. But remember also, the mountain has been in power since 1963, every term. You look at it. If they are not the vice president or DP, they are the president. And they have never experienced a situation where now the government is there and they have no clear representative. So the adrenaline will definitely also go up. Okay. So anything they are told to do, they will do. But they must also experience the fact that Kenya is a large country with so many communities. And if we share it equally and equitably, that is the only time we'll have. I'm not very sure we can have a political formation that will be a threat, because the terrain we are walking today, we have walked it before. There was once upon a time here that Kenyans went against Kibaki and they were saying it is going to be 41 Sijui against 42. And he still retained his presidency. And I have seen a lot of wishful thinking, oh, Kamba will join Gema and such things. Those are things that the people who are anti the president would wish to happen to take the president out of office. But I heard the young man talk about when you check names, the name betrays you. It is only names that are published that people know. There was a list going around Kenya some times back of the president's community in government, but they did not publish a counter list of the other communities in government. You see, Political competition must be comparative. It was not until the names of people who are working in this office were published when we knew they all almost came from one constituency. It is necessary that when you want to accuse anybody of anything, especially in matters tribalism, publish names of all communities so that we see who is where. But you see, in this country, when you publish 200 names of people from the same community in government, when you have not published the other ones who are in government, 600 of them. Because you see, people don't even know in this country there are 350 parastatols. And you see, when you want to publish names of one community, you go where that community is the MD, it's only the MD you publish, you leave the chair. Where the other community's chair, it's only the chair you publish, you leave the MD. Some places they even do the corporation secretaries or the chief accountants. And then the list looks very long. And because Kenyans have no other list to compare it with, they say, oh, this country is only run by one community. Let's be fair and honest. But again, this thing of saying when there's no community that is in power, it is an individual which is in power. Let me tell you, people just talk. But nobody even reminds them of their community during election. It is them who reminds themselves. Nobody even goes to Luola and to tell the Luo that Raila is a candidate, now vote for him. They will just vote. Nobody even goes to Mount Kenya and tells them your person is on the seat, just vote for him. When they were voting for Uhuru, they voted to the last man. When they were voting for Kibaki, they voted to the last man. And when they were voting the last time, they voted to the last man except a few. So Kenya is still largely tribal. We can fight that. But to come and say that now we have switched, like it was an electric light switch, is not going to work. So when you are planning your politics...
How long will it take to fight that tribe politics?
It will take generation changeover. But even this generation, you know what my friend is forgetting, that the Gen Zs who think like him are not even 5%. Walk into these villages like what you saw in Kiambu. Don't you see those people throwing chairs were largely Gen Zs? Why were they not thinking like him? Don't judge the society by your standards. Your standard is too high to judge the society with it. Those Gen Zs are still living with those octogenarian mothers, grandfathers of theirs, and they listen every day. In fact, in the mountain, they can dismiss you until when children are playing football, they are singing, say, Ruto must go, or Moi must go, or Raila is a devil. They sing as they play football, as they go. So, it is not a task you are going to win so soon.
Okay,